Hey, all you wonderful people out there, Chris from the Business Report Show here. And today I'm finally, I've seen some comments in my other videos where some people have asked me to do a video on NIO, the EV car maker. I haven't got to it yet. I have a lot of other content I've been trying to put together. But I thought since NIO Day is coming up for Saturday, I might as well talk about NIO, the company, the stock, and my thoughts, my 2 cents on potentially, where this is headed. Now, before I dive into the various points I want to talk about today, I'm not a financial planner or an advisor, and everything I talk about in today's video is just my personal opinion. Always seek a professional before investing. So, NIO, the EV maker that has been making waves in the marketplace. It has had its up and downs, but for the end of 2020, it beat expectations on many fronts. And of course, with NIO Day coming up, there's been a lot of hype and a lot of excitement built up to it. They teased with a little bit of a trailer of what's to come for NIO Day with the potential to release a new sedan. So there's a lot of excitement around NIO. So one thing I have to say is I like that they're putting NIO Day together. It will be 4th annual event coming up. And of course, they're not going to announce any bad news coming out of this. Let's be fair. This is a marketing promotional activity. Tesla's battery day, Tesla's not going to come out with disappointing news. So we know this is going to be positive. This is going to be exciting. And also for the Chinese market, because on February 12th, it's Chinese New Year. So this is going to lead up to a lot of exciting things happening in that marketplace. Recap quickly, just the numbers, because every other YouTuber has talked extensively about NIO, and most of you watching probably know what's already happened. NIO recently announced that their deliveries for Q4 went up significantly. They hit 7,007 vehicles delivered for December, which is up from about the 5,000 deliveries they had in November. And it's also up 121% year over year. So very amazing figures. Not surprisingly that they beat expectations for delivery. Every other electric car maker as well, Warren Buffett's backed BYD, Li Auto Group, they all beat expectations in delivery. It just bodes really well for the Chinese marketplace, and they are nowhere near buying vehicles at the rate that us North Americans are buying vehicles. So to think about the potential and what it can mean for EV makers in general in China, of course, there's a lot to be excited about. So on NIO Day, they'll be introducing the new sedan. Most people are speculating it's based off of the ET concept car that they showed before. There's also discussion of potential 150 kilowatt an hour battery, which is huge. And then of course, they're going to talk about some new autonomous driver and other core technologies that they're bringing into the fold for the vehicle. Now, as I was doing my research on this, I landed an article that speculated through a Chinese automotive magazine, and it mentioned a potential signing of an agreement with battery maker Contemporary Aperex Technologies. What's interesting about this is that Contemporary Aperex is up in the top 5 battery makers behind manufacturers like Panasonic, and they've been producing batteries for a long time. Now, the difference is that their focus is on the lithium iron phosphate battery. And why is that different? Well, the lithium ion batteries that we see in today's electric vehicles, especially in the Teslas, are the lithium ion cobalts. And so what's the difference, and why do I think this is significant? And I'm going to go down a path here where I'm really speculating on where this is going. So do take what I'm about to tell you with a grain of salt. This lithium iron phosphate, although not as dense as the lithium cobalt that's used in the Tesla vehicles right now, it has a significantly longer battery life. And so we always talk about this 1,000,000-mile battery life and how current batteries suffer from the constant discharge and recharge of the battery, wearing out the battery quicker. Well, with the lithium iron phosphate, you have less of that. The price point is much lower than the lithium cobalt. So this bodes well for EV manufacturers that are constantly under pressure to try to manage their costs. This will add to the margins for each car they sell. Now, because it's less dense, you want to get the same amount of range, you're going to have to pack more batteries into your vehicle. Now, it's not like the other manufacturers aren't looking at using lithium iron phosphate. Tesla actually did announce in one of their press conferences that they were going to use the lithium iron phosphate in their Cybertruck and in the Semi. And the reason why they did that is you need a lot more of these batteries, so you're going to need a bigger chassis and a tougher chassis to hold all of them. So that's why they are reserving this type of battery over to their heavier vehicles. Now, the article stated that there's a potential that NIO may use these batteries in their regular vehicle. If they do that and they do pack more batteries into it, they are definitely going to get more range, but they're also going to get more life out of these batteries, and they're also going to increase their margins. So all of this is positive news for them. Now, I went and dug a little bit deeper, and I found an application for a patent actually by Contemporary Apertex on a unique coating that they were putting on a negative electroplate of the battery. Now, I won't go into the technical details. It took me a long time to read through that patent, but essentially what it does is it's supposed to allow Contemporary Apertex to create a battery that has long life cycle, high energy density, and fast charging. So these are the three characteristics that the patent is supposed to accomplish for this battery. This special coating that they put on the electroplate, the negative electroplate, actually was able to allow for much faster charging time without degradation of the battery. So in traditional batteries, when you're recharging, the faster you are, the more you're degrading the various components within the battery. And it gets to a point where you have less and less charge, which is why, just like in our iPhones, the more we charge it, the less battery health and battery life we have. And that's the same for electric vehicles. But this patent that Contemporary Apertex has applied for seems to show that they may have something in the works that makes their lithium iron battery significantly better than the cobalt. Again, this is very preliminary research. I haven't had a lot of time to dig further. Now, finally, the last thing I will say that is very positive for lithium iron phosphate batteries is that the mining of the various parts is a lot less negative to the environment. And with lithium cobalt, with the lithium ion batteries right now, there's a lot of controversies when it comes to mining and finding enough of the material to mine. So lithium ion batteries is a viable option, which is also why it's a cheaper alternative. So if the rumors are true about the signing, or if there's an article already released while I'm making this video that confirms that this signing, this is very good news overall for NIO. So another thing I will throw out there, probably highly unlikely, but Tesla, when they said they were going to the lithium iron phosphate battery, they said these were going into the truck chassis. So if the rumors are true that NIO has signed this deal with Contemporary Apertex, could it possibly be that they may have a bigger chassis vehicle coming in that they may be announcing? Again, I highly doubt it, considering I think the buzz is all around their new sedan and they're going to take full advantage of that. But it's an interesting conspiracy theory trying to tie a few things together. So a few final thoughts. From a negative standpoint, I would say their earnings is still lagging behind their peers. But again, from the Q4 deliveries, it looks like earnings are going to continue on its up and up as long as the EV market continues to grow in China. The other thing from a long-term standpoint that it will be interesting to see what happens is that NIO doesn't actually manufacture its own cars. It actually teams up with a manufacturer. They build the cars for them. Now, there's some positives and negatives to that. Positive is NIO hasn't had to spend all the upfront infrastructure building out factory capacity and logistics. And really all they have to worry on is the branding, the marketing, the sales, and the shipments and deliveries of the vehicles. But from a negative standpoint, you're really leaving that infrastructure up to a third party. And while you may end up being the largest customer for this manufacturer and be able to pull some weight, as you're growing, you're a bit beholden to them and their manufacturing processes. And really it's on the third party to do better for efficiency, to help you increase your margins. You're always negotiating with them on price. And so if they see a lot of success with NIO and increased deliveries, are they going to leverage the opportunity knowing that they are your sole manufacturer and it's going to take a long time for you to find someone else to manufacture? Now, this isn't just coming from me. If you look through the NIO financials, they do indicate this as a going concern that a third party does their manufacturing. More anecdotally is the push for the Chinese government to really make a China first brand. Huawei was supposed to be their golden child, that they could push out and be very proud of as a Chinese brand, Chinese owned company that's servicing the globe. NIO back in February got bailed out by the Hefei local government to a tune of $1.4 billion when COVID first hit. Now, the other interesting to note is that NIO's research and development head office is actually in Shanghai. The Shanghai government has also been pushing a lot of investment into the city. They are setting up different economic zones and they are going all out to try to get companies to set up head office, whether domestically or international companies, but to set up in Shanghai. There are a significant amount of incentives. There's a lot of tax incentives. They are pouring lots of money to diversify the economy because they are a growing society. And one of the things that China does lag behind the Western world is the ability to develop their own goods, especially in the high-tech sector. So I think a lot of these companies that are in these areas are going to get a lot of support and funding from the government, which again bodes well for the long term of NIO. A couple other points before I wrap up the video. NIO is up to 33% institutional ownership now. There are close to 500 big funds that are owning NIO, and it looks like on a month-to-month there continues to be an increase in institutional ownership. So again, as a long-term investor, that provides me a little bit of comfort knowing that a lot of other smarter people who run these massive funds are also putting some money into NIO. So the institutional ownership up to 33% now is again some very positive for the NIO stock. So for those of you who've already been watching my videos, you know I'm a long-term investor, and when it comes to timing the market, that's just not part of my strategy. I think at the end of the day, you have to look at this as, do you believe in this stock or not? Do you believe in NIO and what they're doing or not? If you do believe in NIO, then it really doesn't matter if you get in today or if you get in after NIO day, because where they're at right now, and you look at where Tesla has got to, and if that's the potential you want to see for NIO, then really if I buy tomorrow at $57 or if I buy on Monday at $65 because everything was great on NIO day, I think it doesn't matter. As a long-term investor, I'd be looking at Tesla numbers where, you know, NIO could be $500, $600 or $800, right? If you truly believe in NIO, you would just buy the stock right now at its current price and just see where it goes in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's my commentary on NIO. Excited to see what happens on NIO day and what gets announced. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Every little bit helps with this channel. I've been super excited about the progress of this channel. It's been only 3 weeks, and you know, gaining a little bit of subscribers here, which is awesome, and really enjoying interacting with everybody in the comment section. So with that, why don't you give me your comments about NIO and where you think it's going? Are you invested in NIO? Is it one that you want to see in your long-term portfolio? Just let me know in the comment section. Happy investing, safe investing. I will catch you next time.